ilustre President Congressus Senatus, magnifice Rector Technicae Universitatis Napocensis, honorables membris Senatus, varissimi professores, optimi auditores. Solemnis Congressus Senatus Technicae Universitatis Napocensis, in distinzione Dr. Honoris Causa attribuendi excelenti magistru José António Barata de Oliveira, Dr. Professor prestigiose Nova Universitatis Lisabone, Portugal. Momentum consecratione publici studio illustris persone superbe premium non solo nostre universitate, sed etiam urbi nostre est semper fuit et erit. De tale distinctum momento, doctorem professorem Nicolae Gurmete, presidentem Congressus Senatus, ut diserat invito.
Domnule rector, distinși membri ai prezidiului, doamnelor, domnișoarelor și domnilor, dragi colegi cadre didactice, dragi colegi studenți, pentru că văd că sunt foarte mulți aici în sală, distinși invitați. Ieri am avut la Cluj ședința ordinară a Senatului. O ședință de lucru, o ședință fructuoasă. Astăzi suntem la Baia Mare pentru o sărbătoare. Decenarea titlului de doctor Honoris Causa este într-adevăr o sărbătoare, pentru că, așa cum se și poate traduce, se spune datorită meritelor. Datorită meritelor celui care va primi acest titlu, datorită meritelor celor care au făcut posibilă această manifestare. Și când mă uit în sală și eu văd pe dumneavoastră, datorită dumneavoastră sunt convins că va fi o adevărată sărbătoare, o sărbătoare de suflet. Mult succes!
Magnificus Rector Technicae Universitatis Napocensis, Dr. Professor Vasile Zopa, de tali odierno solemni momento allocutionem exponi un nostro respecto magister audiamus.
Good morning to everybody. Mr. President, dear member of the Technical University Senate, dear colleague, dear friend, dear student. Yes, indeed, today is an important day for our university because we have the privilege to confer the highest academic degree to a friend of us. To a friend of us who is coming from the other side of Europe. Even the distance between Portugal and Romania is so high, probably one of the highest from the continental countries in Europe. I feel from the beginning that we have here a friend of us, a colleague, who had a lot of cooperation with our institution and particularly with our colleagues from Barata. Mr. José António Barata de Oliveira is professor at one of the most important universities of Portugal. And I'm very pleased to have this great honor because I'm sure that the cooperation is somewhere at the beginning. Tuesday morning I have been in Bucharest with the Romanian government and in front of our Prime Minister and Minister of Research. I signed 5 contracts under the PNRR program, which are connected for financing prestigious professors from universities all over Europe. And one of these contracts, or in one of these contracts, the partner is Professor José António Barata de Oliveira. So this project is a long-term one. I had written the project after I signed it, to be honest, not before. And I'm very confident that the results of this project, it will be an important result for our university, but also for Nova University, for both universities. So once again, thank you very much. And as Mr. President said, yes, today we have a very special day in the life of our university. Thank you very much.
de persona et studio excellentis magistri José Barata, doctor professor Petică Pop Sitar, scientie facultatis centri nord Baia Mare Ribulus Dominarum, et prorector technicae universitatis Napocensis exponit. Vesel.
Bună doamnelor, bună ziua domnilor! În primul rând, aș dori să vă mulțumesc că ați onorat invitația noastră de a participa la acest eveniment de înaltă ținută academică, organizat în cadrul Centrului Universitar Nord-Baia Mare, Universitatea Tehnică Cluj-Napoca, și anume acordarea titlului de doctor Honoris Causa unei personalități remarcabile din lumea științei, și nu doar personalitate remarcabilă, ci un om deosebit. Domnul profesor José António Barata de Oliveira. Așa cum menționa și domnul președinte al Senatului, acest obicei, acest titlu de doctor honoris causa, are o lungă tradiție, care a început odată cu primele secole ale universităților. Dacă la început distinția a fost acordată doar persoanelor care au avut un rang politic, papi, cardinali, regi, după aceea, în momentul de față, persoanele meritorii care au o contribuție remarcabilă în lumea științei, literaturii, tehnicii, sunt privilegiate și primesc o astfel de distinție. Aș dori doar să menționez că este singurul titlu din domeniul universitar, din domeniul academic, care se acordă fără examen. Este doar obținut printr-un consens colegial. Acum, în cele ce urmează, dacă îmi dați voie, voi citi laudatio. Având în vedere invitatul nostru din Portugalia, voi citi varianta în limba engleză. Pentru cei care doresc, în broșură găsiți și varianta în limba română. Laudatio. In honor of Professor José António Barata de Oliveira, on the occasion of awarding the title Doctor Honoris Causa of the Technical University of Cluj-Napoca. Dear Professor José António Barata de Oliveira, dear Rector of the Technical University of Cluj-Napoca, Professor Vasile Țopa, dear President of the Senate, Professor Nicolae Burnete, dear members of the Senate, dear guests, dear colleagues, ladies and gentlemen. The awarding of a Doctor Honoris Causa is the highest form of academic distinction, being an ancient university ritual, which was preserved from the first centuries of the universities. The first award was given at the University of Oxford at the beginning of the 15th century in 1478 or 1479 to Lionel Woodville, Dean of Exeter, which was the brother-in-law of Edward IV, who was granted in the beginning, especially this honoris causa distinction was granted at the beginning, especially to some high-ranking political personalities, popes, kings, or cardinals. The supreme academic title was awarded later to great scholars, combining erudition with innovation, forging paths followed by others. This is the only academic title awarded without any exam, but by collegial consensus. Following this brief description of the meaning of the Doctor Honoris Causa Award and its brief description of its history, the Senate of the Technical University of Cluj-Napoca, at the proposal of the Department of Mathematics and Computer Science from Faculty of Sciences, North University Center of Baia Mare, Technical University of Cluj-Napoca, and the director of our university made a straightforward decision for awarding Professor José António Barata de Oliveira the academic distinction Doctor Honoris Causa, considering his exceptional professional career and accomplishments. It is an immense honor for me to present to you on behalf of our academic community of the Technical University of Cluj-Napoca, Professor José António Barata de Oliveira, an exceptional engineer who combines in unique manner the determination to carry out the highest quality research in fundamental engineering, leadership of major international research projects, love for teaching and life, and independence of thought. This event allowed me to present to you the most significant results of the impressive professional and scientific career that completes the complex personality of Professor José António Barata de Oliveira, as well as a number of significant milestones of his exceptional professional career. I acknowledge from the beginning that I had a highly responsible and highly impossible task to synthesize the achievements of the outstanding personality of Professor Barata, but at the same time it was a great pleasure for me to accomplish this memorable and honorable mission. In the last days we had some meetings with Professor Barata, and I learned many things that I have not written in the Laudatio. And therefore I will start with a quote saying like this: my mom said life is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you are gonna get. Do you know from which movie is this quote? Yes, it's from Forrest Gump. It was a hit that it was a movie that hit the big screens in 1994. This quote made me think that life, no matter what we do, is a game of luck. If we maximize the problem and focus just on the box of chocolates, things are not so bad, unless you have certain allergies that might put your life in danger or risk if you choose the wrong candy. But the tables are changing if your decision involves someone's life or health. Our world is so fragile and complex, and we have so many choices, so much information, that is normal to feel overwhelmed. So, I can tell you that in this world began his journey Professor José Barata. He was born in 1962 in Luanda, in Angola, which was a former colony of Portugal. Luanda is a place which is very close to the jungle. He told us that in the surroundings there are lions and leopards. At that time, he learned a very good lesson about the diversity. It was his first lesson, and diversity is nowadays one of his main targets in his life. After this period, due to the war that started in Angola, he went to Portugal at 15 years old. At that time, he told me that during the high school he had the following program. In the morning, he worked as a coffee shop. In the afternoon, he had the classes at the high school. And the evening, he worked at a restaurant. And after the graduation, he enrolled in the army, and he was officer for 5 years in the Portuguese Marine. After the whole experience in job or no, he told me that afterwards the university just gave the diploma because the lessons of life had been learned. And now, I'm just sorry, but maybe sometimes I'm making some mistakes because I forgot my glasses. That's, but I wrote the trade on the text, but this is the problem that, okay. So now I will focus, of course, because this degree and the title that he gets is based on his tremendous career. So Professor José Barata is an exceptional personality, being a leading figure in the international scientific community in the fields of robotics and integrating manufacturing. Due to his international professional reputation, he is widely recognized in academia for his outstanding theoretical and practical achievements. Like the Portuguese who explored and discovered new territories and reached places that have never been known before. In my opinion, Professor Barata is an explorer in the field of engineering, his scientific activities being always focused on innovation and a unique vision towards the future. José António Barata de Oliveira is full professor at the Electrical and Computing Engineering Department, member of the Scientific Council of the doctoral programs in Electrical and Computing Engineering, member of the Council of the Electrical and Engineering Department at Nova University of Lisbon, and PhD supervisor since 2008. He is also scientific coordinator and member of the executive board of Smart Farm Collaborative Laboratory, along with an active role in the management of the Research Center of Technology and Systems. Okay. Professor José António Barata de Oliveira received the PhD degree and all the degrees, the master degrees and the bachelor degree from the Nova University of Lisboa in Portugal. Professor Barata, he's an extensive pedagogical, he has an extensive pedagogical experience of over 35 years at different university levels, PhD, master, and undergraduate level, as well as vocational and professional training. At the university level, he has complete courses in several institutes, including, of course, Nova University. One of the main goals throughout his career has been training the people, especially young generation, creating relevant scientific and technological knowledge and disseminating it, thus making sure to have a significant societal and economical impact. He was successfully supervising 9 PhD students, 6 students, they are now in progress, and supervising more than 150 master theses. Professor José António Barata de Oliveira is an outstanding scientific personality both in Portugal and worldwide. He is currently considered one of the most valuable specialists in robotics and integrated manufacturing, being permanently invited for lectures at prestigious universities, in industry and scientific events in the entire world. He has been invited to give talks to more than 25 leading international conferences. At the same time, he was a key speaker in Iran, France, Portugal, UK, Germany, Sweden, Brazil, Croatia, and the list may continue. Professor Barata is a well-known and strong personality whose brilliant collaboration, friendship, and influence is linked as well with our Technical University of Cluj-Napoca. Professor José António Barata de Oliveira has remarkable research and education experience in the field of electrical engineering, robotics, and with these achievements with great results, being author of more than 250 original papers in international journals and international conferences, and 2 patents. 28 of his papers, they are in the first quartile, so in the best leading journals in the world. And his results generated more than 5,600 citations and Hirsch index of 39 in Google Scholar, more than 2,750 citations in Scopus, and presently he is member committee chairman in 5 EIII conferences and participated in the organization of several conferences and events. He is also member of the technical committee of the International Federation of Automatic Control, Society of Collaborative Networks, European Project Leaders. The main research interest of Professor José António Barata are in smart manufacturing, Industry 4.0, with particular focus on complex adaptive systems involving intelligent manufacturing devices and robotic systems focused on multi-robot interactions. He has contributed and developed some of the basic concepts linked with Industry 4.0, namely intelligent modular components or cyber-physical systems, and participated in some of the initial industrial demonstrations of these concepts together with big companies, Festo, Siemens, Philips, and Electrolux. For the robotics area, he has contributed to the development of terrain, aerial, and surface vehicles. Relevant knowledge transfer was made to these components. He is particularly attentive to the role that technology have in transforming from a most technologically oriented Industry 4.0 to a more sustainable and human-oriented industry, also known as Industry 5.0. Another great achievement is the participation of Professor José António Barata in several international and national projects, I will mention just some of them. Building trust in ecosystems and ecosystem components, BECO, from Horizon 2020 competition, with a global budget of almost 5 million euros between 2020 and 2023, in which Technical University of Cluj-Napoca is partnered within the consortium. Building a low carbon, climate resilient future, next generation batteries is another project. Advanced manufacturing solutions tightly aligned with business needs. Digital manufacturing and design training network, and the list may continue. And as our rector said, we are very happy that in the next 3 years, starting with July, we'll be able to implement a project in smart agriculture here at our Technical University of Cluj-Napoca. Professor Barata has received important awards at national and international contests and conferences for his projects and the innovative solution proposed, as well prizes for their implementation in manufacturing areas. Such examples include the Portuguese Mint and Official of Printing House Innovation Prize in 2018. The winning idea is now being developed and implemented in Portugal. Other example, there are an outstanding paper award in 2030 called the Ideas Project, Plug and Produce at Shop Floor Level Assembly Automation. Best Paper Award received at the AIII International Conference on Industrial Informatics. And the list, again, all these awards, there have been mentioned in the brochure. His research and innovation activities, along with his close connection to industry and his passionate striving to have a positive social and economical impact, encouraged Professor Barata to focus to found two knowledge-based university startups. His 5 years experience as an onboard Navy officer greatly contributed to his considering holism, ethics, collaborative inclusion, multidisciplinarity, sustainability, and human-centric approaches as fundamental concepts in science and technology. Professor José António Barata de Oliveira is a close friend of the Technical University of Cluj-Napoca. We collaborated in 2 European projects before, and nowadays we have the third one that will start in July. Our plans for the future, they are to make some collaborations to involve more our students, mobilities for our students, and as well to create a bilateral program for PhD studies. After becoming totally acquainted with his scientific, educational, and organizational work, we must say that Professor José António Barata de Oliveira is a distinguished scientist whose position in the world of sciences has already been established. Allow me to say that the international science world is honored to have him within his community, such an eminent scientist and noble person as Professor Barata. Thus, we can understand why someone so dedicated to every task which he has undertaken, as few experts of the international scientific community are, can manifest the desire to support the development of the Technical University of Cluj-Napoca in parallel with Nova University of Lisboa, to achieve a level that allow us to be included among the best universities in Europe. These are only few of the arguments for which the Senate of our Technical University of Cluj-Napoca voted in unanimity to award the highest distinction of Dr. Honoris Causa to Professor José António Barata de Oliveira as a recognition of his personality, scientific excellence, and closeness shown to our institution. Without any doubt, Professor Barata is a great inspiration for many, being innovative, always oriented towards the future, extremely dedicated to his work and responsibilities. Awarding him the title of Dr. Honoris Causa represents a tribute to the greatness of his scientific work, to the exceptional contributions brought to the international society community, but also a sign of gratitude for his relentless support to the process of internationalization and his role in establishing valuable contacts with prestigious European academic institutions. At the end, I cordially congratulate Professor José António Barata de Oliveira for his great contribution to the world of technology and sciences and for being such a wonderful person. I wish Professor Barata excellent health, and I assure him that we will continue our collaborations with the same enthusiasm and excellent results as before, or even better. Thank you very much.
consuetudinem, doctor professor ad nostrum consuetudine, doctor professor Nicolae Burnete, Congressus Senatus President, decisione Congressus Senatus Universitatis expone, ec decisio ad distinctionem doctor honoris causa illustri magistro José António Barata de Oliveira attribuendi requiem.
Distinsă asistență, întâlnirea noastră de astăzi n-ar fi fost posibilă fără hotărârea Senatului Universității Litere din Cluj-Napoca, numărul 1601 din 23 februarie 2023. Dați-mi voie să citesc această hotărâre. În baza legii educației naționale, a Cartei Universității Tehnice din Cluj-Napoca, a regulamentului de organizare și funcționare a Senatului, a regulamentului privind conferirea titlurilor și funcțiilor onorifice și academice ale UTCN, a propunerii decanului Facultății de Științe, conferențial dr. Monica Marian, avizată de Consiliul Facultății de Științe, și directorul Universității Profesor Dr. Vasile Țopa, a procesului verbal al Comisiei pentru Relații cu Mediul Socioeconomic, cu cel academic național și internațional, titluri și distinții, Senatul Universitar, întrunit în ședință ordinară în data de 23 februarie 2023, hotărăște. Articolul 1. Se acordă titlul onorific de doctor honoris causa domnului profesor universitar dr. José António Barata de Oliveira de la Universitatea Nova din Lisabona, Portugalia. Să mă ajutați să înmânăm după
Honores premium virtutis. Clarissimi professores optimi auditores, oratione doctoris honoris causa technicae universitates napocensis, illustris professoris José António Barata de Oliveira, ut diserat ibi.
First of all, apologize for any emotion that I might have. I should start with dear Professor, Rector of the Cluj-Napoca University, Professor Vasile Stopa, I hope that I pronounced well. Dear President of the Senate, Professor Nicola Brunet, I hope that I am also pronouncing well. Dear members of the Senate, dear professors, colleagues, dear students, because I'm so happy to see here all these students, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to apologize. You made a beautiful ceremony to me. I'm very, very, very honored. I almost have no words for this beautiful ceremony and honor, because having this honor from a country like Romania, that for me represents a lot. We are in the extremes of the, I play saying the empire of European Union, but we are in the extremes. I am in the extreme west, you are in the extreme east. You are a country with a past, long past. You are a wonderful university. You have extremely good researchers, so this prize has even more impact and honor to me. I'm really, really thankful to the university for this opportunity. I also now have a bit to apologize you. I'm not a formal person. At the end of the day, I'm a professor, an engineer, but above all a human being. And the Professor Petrica took out of me some of words that I had to talk to you. We already confessed some things. And I am here to tell you that I feel, and I hope you professors also feel, great honor from the world creator, whatever you want to call it, it has different names in this world, that we have a wonderful profession. We can research, but we can influence those people that is more on the upper part of this room, the students. And this is really something for me absolutely wonderful. And this is why I will not bother you too much and not talk about science and technology. This was already there. I'm talking about humans and people. And what are we? We are people. We are influencers. We create technology that impact people. And we influence, we create a new generation that will make a new world and a better world for us. So this is why I'm talking about these people. And to do this job, what we need, I'm starting my informality, we need passion, we need love for this world, for what you do. We need freedom. You cannot do research without freedom. You cannot come to a class and not let these young people think, be free. There is a song, I want to be free, and so, okay? It's wonderful. And diversity. We can go to biology, we can go to the world. When I'm looking here, some are blonde, some are yellow, some are black, some are whatever. And this is wonderful. And where I got this passion? Aha, he already confessed. Of course, my lovely Africa. I am so proud to have been born in the middle of the jungle, 25 kilometers from the river Zaire. Why? Because about passion, if you were born in Africa, you have passion immediately for the big spaces. You cannot imagine what see an elephant. Not so far, I don't want him very close to you. The smells, the sun, and freedom associated to this, because there you do not have, you have just big spaces. And your mind flows, and there is so much diversity. Okay, I was the only white guy in school, but this made me different. I'm happy. And then in my own province, there was 4 different languages. Angola has 13 different languages, different colors. Black, not so black, a bit white, or a big coffee, whatever you want. And this is wonderful. Different hairs, okay, my hair now is a different style, as you can see. And this is part. And what else contributed? The Navy. Being a sailor, there are 3 types of persons. The living ones, the dead, and those that are on the sea. And you say, why you say this? Because in the Navy, on the sea, when you are there on a ship in the middle of the ocean, 50 days without seeing land, you feel small. You feel part of a different thing. And you appreciate freedom. You appreciate love. You appreciate diversity from all the places you have. And because I really don't want to really give you more time about this. Why this love, freedom, and diversity is so important to us. Because what really makes us great, and we want to create an Europe that is great in the sense of the humans. Look at the European Commission, the projects of the European Commission. They all are trying to get different multidisciplinarity that is associated with diversity. The human-centric approach is there, and this is what I want to bring here in this wonderful collaboration that I have since the project Prosecco, and I have to be very thankful to my colleagues, Professor Petrica, Professor Livio, Professor Cosmi, and Professor Ovidio, that always have enabled and created this wonderful environment. And we want to progress, we want to continue this work, and this is based on the projects that were mentioned, I want to do. So, sorry for bringing here some personal things, but what I really would love you students get from the university, okay, the classes of your professors, above all, get from me passion, be passionate to create a new world, be free, always, be yourself, be autonomous, and appreciate diversity. And I am sure that you will have, and myself also will get a better life, because you are the future generation. And you professors, teach this, execute this, because when you make this to your research, to your students, you can create a much better Europe, much better world. Thank you very, very much for all you have done. Thank you.
Congressus solenis, decet agere maximas gratias ad multos annos, professori José António Barata de Oliveira, idem vobis omnibus. De tale momento, presidentem Congressus Senatus, professore Nicolae Burnete, ut viserat invito.
Distinsa audiență. De astăzi, Universitatea Tehnică are un nume. Iar în cuvântul dânsului ați văzut că s-a referit la oameni, la omenie, la nevoia de a fi oameni. S-a referit la frumoasa noastră profesie. S-a referit la libertatea de gândire care o avem prin profesia noastră, prin ceea ce putem face în universitatea noastră. mă uitam în sală și mă gândeam că fiecare dintre noastre ar fi putut să aibă astăzi alt program, sau poate și-ar fi dorit să aibă alt program. Dar v-ați făcut timp pentru a participa la această sărbătoare. O sărbătoare de care, sincer, toți avem nevoie. Avem nevoie de astfel de momente în care să fim împreună, în care să stăm, să reflectăm. Într-o lume în care floarea recunoștinței florește atât de rar, într-o lume în care de multe ori poate doar ne dorim fără să oferim, dumneavoastră ați oferit ceva asta universității, ați oferit recunoștință comunității academice. De aceea vă mulțumesc și în numele tuturor celor din prezidii, vă doresc sănătate, la mulți ani, zile frumoase. Mai bine!
Honoris Causa Nora, Barata, Achim, grazie. Prof, amicis meis, Alex and Lucio, Maximas, gratias a todos.